I am Kyle. That's Tristan. We're the awards addicts. We're doing the acting categories. You previously saw our Best Picture nominees.
Yes, you did.
Since then, we the bride moved. So no more Maggie Gyllenhaal. I mean, no more Jesse Buckley, I
Jesse
should say,
Buckley.
and no
I
more
mean,
Christian Bale in supporting actor.
no more Christian Bale, but Jesse Buckley does have another opportunity to get in. So
Yes, I think we'll be talking about that as well. I think we're going to
probably.
mention Hamnet.
Yes,
Also,
for
since
sure.
that episode, I actually did move Hamnet. You might remember I was very low on Hamnet. I have not
Yeah.
moved Hamnet into my top 10. I got convinced by everyone that Chloe Zhao will elevate the book to a level. Okay,
Yeah.
should we start off with the actress?
Sure, let's do it. Do you want to get us started? Who is your number one?
Julia Roberts for After the Hunt. I feel like the comeback narrative is going to be so strong with this one.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how to say it. Like, I feel like when she won for Aaron Brockovich, the Soderbergh film, there was just like so much. Everyone was just so united behind it. I feel like
Yeah.
that way will be for this because I feel like it's been so long since we've seen like Julia Roberts have like a really meaty role. And I feel like we're gonna see like a lot of people want to celebrate this movie. And like with Luca has gotten his actors for Timothy before. What else? I think it's just Timothy actually because Daniel Craig missed.
Yeah.
Um,
But he got close with Craig.
yeah, but so I'm excited for it. I think I'm going with the consensus. I think most people are predicting Julia Roberts right now as number one,
Yeah.
but that's where my head's at.
As am I. I think that Julia Roberts is she's got this certain star quality to her that we rarely ever see. Like she really feels like a big old-fashioned Hollywood star. Um like a Tom Cruise. Like very different. But she had all of those huge romantic comedies in the 90s like Notting Hill and Pretty Women and then she did Aaron Brockovich. She was in the Oceans films. She's like very beloved. I think she already has 4 nominations, right?
Anyways, yes, Julia Roberts number one. Both of our number ones.
Yeah.
Kristen, what's your number two?
My number two, as of now, is Cynthia Erivo. Um, I was pretty high on
This is my
Wicked
number two as
last.
well.
Nice. Wow, we're gonna have the same list. Um, yeah, Cynthia Erivo. I do hear people saying that she's not going to get nominated for the same character twice in a row, but I think that Elphaba has a lot more to do in the second part. It's going to be a very big, grand, emotional role. She has a song that she's writing for this, which is probably going to be a huge standout. She is For Good, so there's huge musical numbers,
And she has her EGOT narrative.
and she has the EGOT narrative. And I think with Cynthia Erivo, even though she kind of feels like a new star, because I really think she kind of claimed her A-list stardom in the film world with Wicked. She has been around for a while. She's been considered one of the greats in the Broadway scene for about 10 years at this point, when she broke out for The Color Purple. And then she is already a two-time Oscar nominee with Harriet and with Wicked. So she does have a pretty good narrative going for her. There's the EGOT narrative where maybe they'll think, song's not good enough. Like we need to give her Best Actress.
Mm-hmm.
And she was really great as Elphaba, and I think that this is going to be even more elevated. I really do think she's going to be a scene stealer, and I'm excited to see her in this role, and I'm very confident about her getting the nomination. I think that she just has a lot of goodwill right now.
Yeah, I feel like I was in the minority of people who thought that Cynthia was probably better than Ariana. I feel like
I
everyone
agree.
was very. I think they're both amazing, but I
Yeah,
think most people really push Ariana up in that campaign. You never really heard about Cynthia being one competitive, but every time everyone was like Ariana could take Best Supporting Actress.
yeah,
But yeah, I do think this is going to happen for her. I think she'll probably get the nomination, and I don't know if she'll have the win. I just feel like it's going to be very difficult to win for a sequel like Wicked. Like this is like, just to be clear, it's not in terms of who I think is most likely to win. This is just who I think is most likely to get nominated, and I just think she's probably the most likely to get nominated right now.
Yeah, her and Julia Roberts, feel like a shoe-in because we already know what her performance is going to be like, and people have already read the script for After the Hunt and know the role.
Mm-hmm.
And that you have an actress like Julia Roberts playing a role like that. It's from a director like Luca. It's pretty clear that that's going to be an Oscar contender. But from here on out, I think it gets a little trickier.
Yeah, my number three is Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. Yeah, I mean she's playing Shakespeare's wife. This is gonna be a biopic-ish movie, kind of historical fiction, I should say, but it will be kind of baity. She's gonna be in a big costume drama, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's probably gonna be a on fire performance. She was able to pull off a surprise nomination for The Lost Daughter back in 2021. So I think a lot of people in the acting branch are probably endeared to Jessie Buckley. So I'm feeling good about this.
My number three is also Jessie Buckley. Yeah, I think that Jessie Buckley is an actress really on the rise. She's, she already has an Oscar nomination and she's given some amazing performances. And I think she's someone that is she's not quite like an A-list star, but I think in the Academy world, like people really respect her. And this is going to be a huge Beatty performance from a director that people really like, who is a big name at the moment. She's playing Shakespeare's wife. The film is probably going to be a big contender all around. I feel like she's pretty likely for a nomination, and I'm not 100% on like Paul Mescal getting in, or even like any of the other supporting players in this movie, but I think the film's really going to be centered on her, and she's going to have a lot of emotional moments. I mean, it's really centered around her grieving the death of her son, so that's a very emotional performance that she's going to have to put in.
Yeah. What's your number four?
My number four is Renate Reinsva for Sentimental Value. I'm really high on this movie. I feel like she should have won for Worst Person in the World. That was like by far my pick that year.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but I I'm just like really excited for this film, and I feel like this is going to be Neon's big push. Um, we saw what she did in The Worst Person in the World. It was a great performance, but she was a breakout star at that time. Now she's had quite a few roles since then. It's only been a couple years, but we saw her in A Different Man. She was just in that film Armand. So she's been working quite a bit, and now she's back with Joachim Trier. She's going to be working with Stellan Skarsgård. I feel like she's going to give a great performance, and it's the kind of role that I think would definitely warrant an Oscar nomination.
I also wanted to say both of those films that you mentioned, Different Man and Armand, were both able to get some serious guild support, with Armand
Yeah,
getting a first-time director nomination at DGA as an international film, and A Different Man obviously winning Best Actor at Golden Globes, but then also kind of being on the cusp the entire season with the Sebastian Stan narrative. So I feel like she's someone that people are aware about. People are going to want to reward her. She's my number five. But my number four is Amanda Seyfried for Anne Lee.
that's my number five. Oh my god.
Okay, so we're just like on sync again.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, for Anne Lee, man, I'm just telling you, I feel like there's gonna be so many eyes on Anne Lee due to the Brutal's success. Um, and I suspect that Mona Fastfold and Brady are gonna do something really incredible with this.
Yeah, it sounds
Uh,
awesome.
we've seen this time and time again where Amanda Seyfried's in a musical and she just absolutely kills it. She obviously missed well, she got nominated supporting, she missed this nomination for supporting in for Les Mis, but she got nominated for Mank, which is not a musical. But she's amazing in Les Mis. I'm a big Les Mis fan. I think she's almost as good as Anne Hathaway as Fantine in Les Mis, but Anne Hathaway just took and ran with it and she won the Oscar. But yeah, I'm just excited for this. I think she's gonna kill it. The entire thing about like religious organizations is like so high concept for like a movie. So I'm just so excited for it, and I think she's gonna kill it. and it will be a big, bold performance. Maybe she can even get like an Adrian Brody type narrative surrounding her, where people just want to reward her because it's just so grand. And I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I like part of me actually wants to put her at number one because I feel like this is going to be a crazy, like very tough role.
It'd be so cool to call it. Like I want to do it
Yeah,
too, but I just can't.
maybe we should. What about her narrative and what about this film do you think could push her into that
Yeah,
conversation?
I guess. Okay, so first of all, I think the musical aspect is going to be a big player here. I do
Yeah,
think. Um, I'm curious about what the original songs that are going to be. It's going to be co-written by Daniel Blumberg, the composer of The Brutalist, with Mona Fastvold, the writer and director of this. I don't believe Brady's writing any of the songs. I believe it's just Mona and Daniel.
yeah,
Um, I'm curious about how that will work, and if it's anything to representative of the dialogue that we've seen them write of, I think this could be so uniquely original to this concept, and tackling things like religious movements and cults would be something that might be undeniable. This is like a truly balls to the wall performance from Amanda Seyfried.
yeah,
Um, the period piece aspect, I have to say, is kind of a factor. I mean, this is going to be like 1800s period costumes. She'll be talking in like old style language. It
yeah,
should be kind of something that a lot of actors will respect, which is the largest branch in the academy. So I think that should help her with the nomination and probably will help her with the win. I think it's going to be a grand performance in the vein of The Brutalist. I don't know if we know how long or how far in time period it's going to stretch, but I feel like this will be like one of those grand performances that we'll just be raving about outside of TIFF when we see it. Me and Tristan are going to see it together at TIFF, and we're going to be like, Amanda Seyfried locked for Best Actress, baby. It's
yeah,
happening. Just like how we were when we saw The Brutalist together. We are like,
yeah.
it's Adrian Brody, baby. It's Adrian Brody. And yeah, that's why I'm putting her at number one. Tristan, what are the reasons for you?
Yeah, I think Amanda Seyfried has had such an interesting career trajectory because she started around that time of a little before Anna Kendrick, maybe a little bit after Anne Hathaway, where all three of them were kind of doing the singing thing where, you know, Mamma Mia, Pitch Perfect, um, Anne Hathaway, I feel like was in before Les Mis. She was in some singing stuff. She was in like the Princess Diaries and stuff. I know she wasn't singing that, but anyways, they were doing like the populist roles. They were really popular in the 2000s, and then similar to the other two, specifically Anne Hathaway, Amanda Seyfried in the 2010s became very kind of picky with her role, and especially recently, she started to get some really great traction
But
for
arguably, I would say that she's been most synonymous with her musical roles. I think Les Mis and Mamma Mia
yes,
are the two roles that you think about when you think about Amanda Seyfried.
sure. And she's considered a great singer, probably like the best that we have that's not like from the Broadway scene. Like she is a really really talented singer, and this being a musical, this being a period piece, this tackling cults that could, even though it's like 1700s, it could tie into kind of the cult um like base that Trump has I don't know, maybe that's a stretch, but
No. I think there might be some modern social commentary to derive from this movie.
yeah. And I think, you know, this year with all that's happened, I I feel like the films that are really going to gain traction are ones that are going to tie into what's going on in the world right now, whether or not they're like films that are taking place now or films that are taking place a long time ago but have themes that tie into now. And Anne Lee sounds like it really could. And Amanda Seyfried, I think, is someone that she seems like a really nice person. People really like to work with her. She has had a really interesting career trajectory. Um, and yeah, she's gained a lot of respect with Mank and with The Dropout, and now she's returning to a musical, but one that's a lot more artistic and um, bold and out there. And she's going to have this big, bombastic lead performance. So yeah, I actually think she could win for this, and I want to call it early, put it at number one.
So you heard it here first. Kyle and Tristan, we're on the Amanda Seyfried train.
We are, yes.
Well,
There's 10
my number
slots.
6 is Emma Stone for Bugnonia.
Interesting. Why is she's not my number 6. Why is she your number 6?
I mean, two recent Best Actress winners. This is her first role since Poor Things. It's a Yorgos movie who has historically been able to get his actresses in. Um, it's going to be very transformative. She shaved her head bald for this movie.
Yeah.
It's adapted from pretty strong source material. Uh, it will be kind of a crazy performance with people like kidnapping her, thinking she's an alien. There's a few reasons. I guess we're just gonna have to see. It's also a focus contender, so you never know.
Is there a chance that Emma Stone is supporting? Because just based on reading the plot, it sounds like it's going to like she's going to be trapped for most of the film, and it's going to be focusing on Jesse Plemons and the other guy.
I have not watched Save the Green Planet, so I don't know how prominent her role is.
Same, yeah.
But I would assume she's lead.
Probably
But
just because she's
or
Emma
even if
Stone.
she was like borderline supporting, I would assume they would category fraud her and lead.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I probably should have her higher because I doubted your ghost before with Poor Things, and the fact that Focus already has a release date for this in November, that's a great sign. She did shave her head, and that's been a big ongoing like topic of conversation. Like, oh, Emma Stone's going all out for this film. She shaved her head. Like, this is going to be a crazy role. So I should have her in, but I don't know. I feel pretty strong with my top five. Maybe I should the two focus feature players and put her in instead of Jesse Buckley, but I just feel like I don't know. I feel strong about that Jesse Buckley role, and I feel like she's on the rise. Um, my number 6 is Tessa Thompson in Hedda.
Mm.
I see a lot of predicting this for Best Picture. Like this is going to be a huge thing. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like the people I've seen predict Hedda are people who think that After Hunt is going to flop. Like
Yeah,
they think that Amazon can only get one in, and they're choosing between Hedda and After the Hunt. So I'm just not on the Hedda train at all because I just think it's going to be After a Hunt. But you can't
yeah,
ignore the Plan B Orion strength that has been going on recently. So
yeah.
maybe Hedda is a true Amazon contender and After a Hunt is not. But or maybe just get two
I,
in. Maybe this is going to be the first year to get two in.
it's possible. I just feel like with Amazon, they have like we kind of know uh more about After the Hunt because the script already has great reviews from people who have read it. It's got a really buzzy cast. It's got very relevant subject matter, and Luca is someone who has gotten in before, and he is super well respected right now. So that's why I have After the Hunt. And Hedda, I don't know like how much um confidence I have in Nia DaCosta to really pull this off because so far we've only seen her do Candyman and The Marvels, which neither of which were that great. Um, that's kind of an understatement. That's they weren't great movies, but I do think Nia DaCosta, like Jordan Peele, really saw something in her. There's been a lot of hype behind her being a great filmmaker, and now she's creating the movie that she wanted to create this whole time.
Yes. So Hedda's your number 6. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it's not
Thompson.
really. I wasn't really considering it. I think it's my number 14 on my awards expert, but
Wow.
I
Okay.
could always move up.
I I just feel like Tessa Thompson is one of those actresses who really has potential. She hasn't done anything that's like in that awards conversation yet, but in all of the blockbusters that she's been in, I mean, Creed, she was fantastic in particular. And she's done some great work in TV shows. She was in Passing, which I thought she was really good in. Yeah, I feel like she's one of these actresses who I could really see getting a nomination at some point. And Hedda sounds like a project that could really be in the conversation. Although I do kind of feel like it might be like the kind of role that would have gotten an Oscar nomination like 10 or 20 years ago, but not now, like the Outrun kind of thing.
Mm.
And I could see her maybe getting like a BAFTA or a SAG or something like that, and being in that like 6 to 10 range, but maybe not getting the Oscar at the end of the day.
Yes, my number 7 is Rose Byrne for If I
Same.
Had Legs I'd Kick You.
Yeah.
One Sundance, one Berlin, her performance. So I think this is probably maybe good for a Globe Comedy Actress nomination.
Yeah.
Um, we'll have to see how far it can go. It's a horror movie, so
Is it a
bah,
is it like straight up horror, or is it kind of like more? I've heard it's
I
compared to
think
like
it's
Safdie
pretty
brothers.
elevated. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
And it
just
is about
hesitance.
it's about motherhood, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
Might
so
be
that
like
could
kind of
be
night
interesting.
bitchy, maybe.
Yeah. I've heard she's amazing, but I've read some reviews of the movie that say it's just so anxiety inducing that it's going to turn a lot of people off.
Yeah,
Like to a point where it's almost too much. It's not even enjoyable.
that's not good. That's not good.
I mean, we might like it, but I feel like I don't know. It might be a little divisive. But Rose Byrne, I'll be honest, she's not someone who I've ever really thought would get into the Oscar, but I like her a lot as an actress. She has a lot of presence. So
I Tessa Thompson's your 6, and I had Tessa Thompson at 13. Where's Emma Stone for you?
Emma Stone is my number 8.
Okay, so we're running out to Emma Stone for you.
Yeah,
You've already kind of talked about it. My number 8
yeah,
is Jennifer Lawrence for Die My Love. Um, it's Lynn Ramsey, and this book is not an Oscar thing. So we'll see. I think people are a little too high on it. I think Jennifer
I
Lawrence
agree.
has a pretty great comeback narrative that could play out. Um, but personally, I'm looking more towards Robert Pattinson for a nomination than Jennifer Lawrence. And or we'll get to supporting actor in a second, but um, yeah, that's where my head's kind of is at with this one.
I have her at number 9,
Oh,
um,
interesting.
but I would be willing to put her higher. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about Die My Love because like we don't know much about it. It just kind of sounds like her other films where there's
People just want it so badly for Lynn Ramsey, and it would be so cool.
it would. Yeah. I think part of it though is that Jennifer Lawrence is like a huge star. She's very beloved by the Academy, and she gives me like she's in a similar place in her career as a Emma Stone, where I feel like both of them are these really really great actresses who
They're
came
also
up.
best friends.
Yeah, and they came up around the same time. We're in a lot of like big blockbusters and stuff like that, and comedies, and now they're both taking very interesting auteur-driven roles that they're really putting these films on the map more than they would be before because they're the draw and are both producing the films. And she's apparently Jennifer Lawrence is producing this alongside Lynn Ramsey. So it could be a case for her. And I do want to put it in. I'm just a little tepid about the film itself. Um, but I mean, if this is a huge contender, have you looked at the cast? Because I see narratives for her. I see narratives for Robert Pattinson, Sissy Spacek, um, Lakeith Stanfield, and Nick Nolte are both in
I'm
this
gonna need to
movie.
read a book because, from my understanding, it's like fairly esoteric. So I'm gonna need to see how crazy the book is. I might just try to
Yeah.
like get it from the library like this week or something and see if I can knock it out. It's short. It's like a novella. So
Oh, cool. Let me know because yeah, I'm. She's probably gonna crawl up my list a bit, but for now, I'm gonna keep her in that 6 to 10 range.
okay, interesting.
I'm
Interesting.
gonna switch her with Emma Stone. Let's do that. I'll put Emma
Yeah.
Stone at
Okay.
9, and I'll put Jennifer Lawrence at 8.
My number 9 is Olivia Colman for The Roses. We've talked about Searchlight and her strength.
Mhm.
Um, this movie does not give me good vibes, but Olivia Colman is kind of goaded.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
My number 10 is June Squibb for Eleanor the
Eleanor the
Great.
Great? Oh,
Yes.
God, I hope so. I hope so. After, like, I was like, shoot, she deserved it for Selma. Shoot, I wanted it so badly for Selma.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the people when we were doing our award show, one of the people that we were discussing about for the Lifetime Achievement Award was June Squibb. And in the end we decided to do it for Elizabeth Rossellini, but like she's just so incredible.
Yeah.
And she's just been such a great force as of late. I want it so badly. I want her to get a lead actress nomination so badly.
She
Her
she
last nomination was
has
in MASH Nebraska in 2013. It's been so long.
I think that's her only nomination, right?
Yeah.
I think she's one of these actresses who really only got a lot of notoriety in like her 60s or 70s, which is super rare. And now she's in her 90s and she's at the peak of her career. And I think she's 95 at this point.
Mhm.
That's an amazing narrative. And working with Scarlett Johansson on Scarlett Johansson's directorial debut, that's going to get a lot of eyes on it. They both came out to present an award at the Oscars, so it's
Yeah, I just
already
fear that
kind of
this
in
is just
that.
commercial play.
It
And
might be,
like even when we were entertaining like June Squibb last year, like we were like, I think Thelma's kind of safe for a Golden Globe Comedy Actress nomination. She still missed it there.
but Thelma was like a twist on the action movie, right? It was like,
Yeah, but
um,
it's like it's a pretty strong performance. I was really
I
thinking they're gonna do it.
I thought she was really fun in it, and it was a great role. But I think that this is going to have more dramatic heft to it,
Hmm.
because isn't this kind of like I haven't really read much about it, but I think it's about her like reconnecting with people from her past,
I think
and
it's
it's
about her forming a friendship with like um, a younger like man,
oh,
and
interesting.
them exploring New York together or something like that. While like they like discuss their past and
Yeah,
discuss like wisdom, and it's probably gonna be. I'm afraid it's gonna be like a little preachy. You know, like how when you're like a directorial debut and you're an actor turned director, and
yeah.
like you like have like a very talky script. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not like that, but we're gonna
I
see.
I do trust Scarlett Johansson. I think she's worked with some really interesting filmmakers, and she seems like a very creative person. So and the fact that she didn't go with like the obvious choice of like she didn't go with these big A-listers that she's friends with. She went with June Squibb as her lead role. So that's interesting to see them both working together, and I'm pretty excited about this.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me see who is playing the younger counterpart.
And again, June Squibb is a previous Oscar nominee for um, Nebraska. She was kind of in the conversation for About Schmidt as well. So she's
I
someone
believe
that they
it's Will
know.
Price, or Chiwetel Ejiofor. I don't know who it's supposed to be, but
Yeah.
Will Price was in a complete unknown, so I don't know. My number 10 is Anne Hathaway for Mother Mary, which we were trying to talk about earlier, but then Tristan made me
Sorry.
go in order. So,
Sorry.
um, yeah, I mean, it's Anne Hathaway
Yeah.
doing her thing,
Singing.
singing, fantastic costumes. Honestly, I think this could be a contemporary costume design nominee, which would be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love whenever we get like a contemporary film like costume or production design. I'm always so happy. Conclave this year, so uh, I'm pretty high on this. As far as like number 10, David Lowery is a goat. So
Yeah, David Lowery, I think, is one of these filmmakers who's built up a lot of respect. And he's doing kind of like a Steven Soderbergh type thing where he does whatever he wants. He does like,
mhm.
a studio movie, and then he works with Disney, and then he does something like really esoteric. So
I
yeah.
watched Snow White, and like I was like, isn't it crazy how like all these movies are so bad except for Christopher Robin and Pete's Dragon, the David Lowery movie,
Yeah.
Pete's Dragon. Peter Pan is pretty bad too. His other Disney live action remake, but
I heard it's horrible.
Pete's Dragon is really good. It's
Mhm.
so good.
I like it. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Saw it in the theaters in 2016. Went to the theater, watched Pete's
Nice.
Dragon.
So,
Zendaya for the drama. Were you thinking that could be a possibility?
um, I think it could. I mean, she's Zendaya. I think at some point she's going to get nominated. Although, did you hear the report that she's planning to retire?
After she gets married?
2027.
I feel like I heard about Tom Holland. Like I feel like the Bear Company is like kind of like an exit plan for Tom Holland. I didn't know that about Zendaya.
They both said that they wanted to retire, but I don't
That's
know.
interesting.
She's like right on like the top of her career. Like she's
I
one of
could
the
see
big
like
actors right
Zendaya
now.
maybe retiring from acting and then pulling like a Greta Gerwig and doing like mostly directing in the future because I think Denise said that Zendaya really is interested in directing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Um, Now this one is just getting like a lot of red flags, but the next one is Jodie Comer for The Last Terms of Madeline Hyde. Kenneth Branagh directed,
No.
produced by Ryan Reynolds, Maximum Effort, his production company.
I
Uh,
think this is actually going to be a similar thing to Ron Howard's Eden, where it doesn't actually it plays TIFF, doesn't get great reviews, and then doesn't come out and
yeah,
just
like,
gets pushed to the next week.
is there no distributor attached? I'm assuming like Ryan Reynolds could probably get the connections to
Um,
find a distributor.
the
It was produced by
Madeline,
Ryan Reynolds,
yeah, he is pretty huge.
but Jodie Comer. The only reason I have it is because Jodie Comer still to this date has given the best performance of the decade in Prima Facie. Um, she is so incredible, and I want her to get an Oscar nomination so badly.
But
Uh,
that's a play,
that's,
right? Not a
I
movie.
know, yeah, it's a play, but she won a Tony for it. And
Yeah,
in terms of like all media, we're including like all media I've indulged in this decade. Jodie Comer by far, like it's not even close. Like Kate Blanchett is like right here,
yeah.
and Jodie Comer is like all the way up here. Like it's like
Wow,
not even
I
close
gotta see
how
that.
good Jodie Comer is in
Yeah,
Pravashi. Um, and Kate Blanchett is like my favorite movie performance of the decade. Um, so like she's given by far best performance of the decade. So I want her to get an Oscar nomination very badly. So anything that she's in, I'm gonna be like, let's get it for her. Let's get it for her. I was so afraid they were gonna give Jessica Chastain or Tony over Jodie Comer, but the Tonys did the right thing and gave it to the right person. It was at the
wow.
Dublin International Film Festival on February 27th.
Well, I'm gonna say no then. Um, yeah,
Dublin not a good launching pad for you?
probably not. But I think a similar thing. This is going back like a long time, but a similar thing happened to the film Blue Sky, which won her her second Oscar and her first lead actress Oscar. Where that film actually um, it she got nominated in 1994. The film finished in 1990, and it premiered like a year or two before it actually came out, and it was considered a disaster. And then she won an Oscar for it. So this isn't like something she's totally um like that she's never been able to pull through for. Like she's a favorite of the Academy. She's been nominated a ton of times. At a point there, she was kind of like second to Meryl Streep, where she was nominated or in the conversation almost every single year of the 80s and the 90s. Um, and then she went more into TV and took a big break and stuff like that. Um, People really love her. She's given some amazing performances. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say no for now, but like I would not be surprised if she kind of pulls like a Glenn Close for the Wife, where that was kind of just a random movie that played at TIFF the year before, and then randomly she ended up boosting herself into the conversation. But I need to read reviews to see how she actually is in the film.
Yeah, let's just do a couple more because we're running so behind on time, actually. But
Yeah, let's do it.
Sydney Sweeney for the Christine Martin biopic,
Maybe. Yeah, I
that's
could see it.
possible. Regina
Like an
Hall
I,
for one.
Tonya type thing.
Yeah, I mean, if it's good, like sports biopics, and she's like really hot right now.
Yeah,
Regina Hall for One Battle After Another. Paul Thomas Anderson has really been successful in getting actresses in.
yeah.
Uh,
I think that's supporting though, right?
is it? I think Tiana Taylor supporting. Do we know
I
who's
I think they're both supporting.
okay?
I think
Understood.
the daughter is lead. What's her name?
I don't
She's a
know. Well,
newcomer.
we'll talk about it then in a second.
Yeah.
And supporting Ellen McKay for Ellen McKay.
No,
No. Jennifer
I don't see it.
Lopez for Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Supporting, I think.
Is it? Is it? I
That's
think
what I
that's is
heard.
it. Okay. Well, that's all I had for actress.
I'll
Anything else you
give
want to bring up before we move on to actor?
Eva Victor. I'm probably going to say no on that one, having seen it.
I've seen it.
Um,
No. That's
Amy
low screenplay.
Adams. Amy Adams for At the
For
Sea.
Claire and the Sun?
At the Sea.
No. She's
It's the
supporting for
direct.
Claire and the Sun.
She's lead for At the Sea. It's the director of Pieces of a Woman. That got Vanessa Kirby a nomination, and she's playing an alcoholic.
Mm. Okay.
So
I'll
maybe.
have to keep an eye on that.
And then outside of
Is it
that,
Netflix who's distributing?
it doesn't have a distributor yet, but it's eyeing Venice right now.
Interesting.
Outside of that, quickly, Lucy Liu for Rosemead. I've heard a lot about her potentially
Clayton
being a
Davis was
huge.
gassing this one up.
Yeah. I don't know, but people seem really excited about her performance in that. And then outside of that, I don't see anything here. Maybe this is a total stretch. Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy for a movie called Sacrifice, which is the director of Athena. It's like kind of people are saying it might hit Venice, and it seems like it's going to be more of a blockbuster type thing, but it's English language. She's the star. She's kind of overdue for some traction. Um, and then Elizabeth Olsen for a film called Eternity that A24 has. Clayton Davis is also kind of gassing this one up.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's all I have right now.
Number one for actor, I do have Timothée Chalamet from Marty Supreme. I'm feeling so good about this. I'm feeling so good about this. Oh my gosh, at SAG speech, I want to be the next Viola Davis. I want to be Michael Phelps in my field. That got me locked in, baby. We're on
Yeah.
a Timothée Chalamet train all year long. I am not moving till December 25. I am not moving. I'm keeping it at number one, no matter what anyone else says. Until this premieres, I am not moving this shit. It's staying at my number one.
Agreed. Yeah, I've been very high on the Timothée Chalamet ship since Call Me by Your Name. I wanted him to win for that. Now he's gained the respect now. He's like the biggest
We've actually
star.
already talked about this. You're like, I want Timothée Chalamet to win. And I think I have a hot take because I think most people were Team Timothée Chalamet, but I
Yeah,
was like always on the Daniel Kaluuya train for Get Out. I was like
he's
always
great.
Team Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
And Daniel Kaluuya has an Oscar for Judas, so now this is
He
time for
does.
Timothy's Oscar. You know,
It is. It's a great time too because I think he's built up the respect, and this would feel like okay, now he's deserved. He has 2 Oscar nominations, should be 3 because he should have easily gotten supporting actor nomination for Beautiful Boy. That was a weak year. But yeah, I think that this is going to be a huge role for him. He's working with the Safdies. He's already campaigning for this. Like he wants it really badly. It's going to be a big showy role. And it's coming out Christmas Day, and that's the Timmy slot now. We had Wonka, we had
I was gonna say that's the prime A24 campaigning slot. You know, to Bruto's and His Zone of Interest, both were limited Christmas releases, and they
yeah,
expand in January. That's what
exactly.
A24 likes to do to remain Oscar contenders for.
Although I think this is going to be wide. I think
Is it
they're
going to
going
be
to
wide release
try.
Christmas?
I believe so because this is $70
Interesting.
million. So they're going to try and just like
I thought it was
treat it
90.
like a. Oh, is it 90? I thought it was
Either this one or is 90 or the Smashing Machine is 90. One or the
Smashing
other.
Machine is 40, I believe, or 30 or something.
Okay, then this is the 90 then.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, biggest A24 release by far. Yeah. We're both pretty high on this movie being an Oscar contender. There's a lot of hype behind it. Definitely think he's the front runner.
Okay. What's your number 2, Tristan?
All right. So my number 2 right now, looking at my list, is Dwayne Johnson for the Smashing Machine. Let's go.
Let's go, dude. We're like on the same wavelength the whole
We are.
episode.
This is awesome.
Don't worry. I'm
Yeah.
throwing you for a twist for number 3, though. I'm throwing you for a twist for number 3.
Probably, yeah, because I'm going a little conventional.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, this is going to have such a wild narrative. Dwayne Johnson has been a huge moneymaker, and he's never been in anything even close to getting Oscar consideration. But he's very charismatic, and I feel like this could be a really fun turn for him. Like I'm all into these narratives where someone, is like a blockbuster person and then they decide to do a switch late in their career. Um, and he's playing a wrestler, so he could really get in the head of that because he's someone who wait, is he a boxer or a wrestler?
He's playing a he's playing the boxer Mark Kerr. I
Okay.
think it's a UFC fighter. So I think it's like mixed martial arts actually. I don't think
Okay,
it's
cool.
either.
But he's kind of in that world, so he understands the pressures of it, and it's probably something that's going to tackle body image and masculinity, and I think he's going to bring a lot of depth to it that we've never seen him bring to roles before. And the thing that's really selling me on this is that Martin Scorsese, I guess, saw a cut of the film and cast both him and Emily Blunt in his next movie, and they're both in this film. So they must be really great together for that to happen.
Can I be honest? The one of the worst movies I've ever seen is The Jungle Book with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
So I don't have much faith in them as like a dynamic duo. But no,
Wait, the
I
Jungle
feel
Book? You mean the
the Jungle Cruise,
Jungle Cruise? Yeah,
the one adapted from the Disney ride.
yeah,
Um, I love when Disney adapts their rides into movies like The Haunted Mansion or Pirates of the Caribbean.
yeah.
But
Not
I'm just
Jungle
joking.
Cruise.
I'm just joking. No, no, I don't like it. No. What was I saying? Yeah, no, I feel very good about this. I think Dwayne's gonna give like a pretty good performance. It seems like it's also we were just talking about Emma Stone kind of being transformative. He's putting on a fake wig for this. He's
Yeah.
doing something transformative. People are gonna like be like so glazing him. Can you imagine The Rock on the campaign trail, like doing actors on actors with like who's he gonna do it with? Let's say he does it with Brendan Fraser. Can you imagine
Yes,
that?
please.
Could
That
you
would be
imagine that?
sick. Oh my god, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Blaine
Yes, I
Davis, if you're
need
listening,
that.
actors and actors, Brendan Fraser, Dwayne Johnson, that's
Yes.
the one. That's the one. That's the episode we want. Um, no, it's gonna be crazy. To see him on a campaign trail. My number 3 is Colin Farrell for Ballad of a Small Player.
He's in my top 5 too.
I'm feeling good, a little trepidatious, but good about this. I think Colin Farrell has the respect that he could coast on a nomination if it wasn't good, and I do expect this to be very good. And I think Burger will make it a top contender. I think Netflix will campaign it very hard, so I'm expecting high hopes for this movie.
Yeah.
I think it's going to get into Best Actor.
Yeah, and he has 2 films this year with this and The Kaganata.
Yeah,
Big Bold Beautiful Journey.
we never mentioned Margot Robbie in the previous category for Big Bold Beautiful
Oh,
Journey.
yeah, that's kind of fell down my list a little bit since it got that September release date.
I
But
mean, I think that's better than a May release date.
it is
No,
better, but I thought they were gonna move it to like October or November, and then I'd be like, okay, this is an Oscar contender. But apparently, it's because she's having a kid, and they wanted like to move it so that that's what I heard, so that she could not campaign, but
I
like,
think her child is already born, but
oh, I don't
she
know,
maybe just wants to take care of it. Did you see those
maybe,
Wuthering Heights photos right now?
yeah, interesting.
Oh gosh, definitely. She definitely does not look 17.
No,
How old is Margot Robbie?
35 or something like
Why
that.
did they cast her?
I don't know. They should have cast Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney doesn't look 17 either, but she
No,
she plays
but
a high school in Euphoria, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
Margot
Anyways,
Robbie is a full-fledged adult. I mean, I guess Sydney Sweeney is
have you
too.
read Wuthering Heights? Like, it's
No,
like
no.
why are we adapting? First of all, Wuthering Heights does not need an adaptation, but like,
Oh, it's bang on. She's turning 35 this year.
oh,
Sydney
good for
Sweeney,
her.
I believe, is like what, 28,
Hmm.
27?
The funny
Um,
thing is, like, even if you wanted to do it, Heathcliff is older than in the book, so I don't know why they would cast Jacob Elordi's younger than Margot Robbie. No,
way younger. Yeah, he's like
so I don't know what we're doing
26.
here. I'm so confused. I'm
Yeah,
curious to see this movie.
yeah.
We'll
I don't know.
we'll, we'll, we'll do it, guys, in February. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's not coming out this year, right? That's
no, it comes
next
out
year.
February 2026.
Oh, okay. So it's not an Oscar contender at all.
I mean, it could be limited release like December.
Yeah, maybe.
You think they might
No,
do it? No?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be like a modern. I don't think it's going to be true to the book based on her other films.
The costuming looks period though.
It does, but I feel like it's going to be kind of like have some sort of like modern satire to it.
Well, that's weird because Wuthering Heights is like the greatest book of all time. So I
Yeah,
don't know why you would change anything if you're adapting it. But
I don't know. That's just like what I'm getting from it, but I could be wrong.
yeah. Well, dude, Emerald Fennell has like pretty much become like film Twitter's villain, like so quickly.
Yeah, it's weird. She was kind of like their favorite, and then
Yeah,
I
with
don't know.
Promising a Woman, and
But
now
now
she's like
she's
super disliked.
TikTok's favorite. TikTok loves Emerald Fennell.
Do they love Saltburn over there?
Yeah, dude, there's Saltburn pop figures now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I went to the store and I saw a Saltburn pop figure. That's how popular that movie is.
Will they make a pop figure of your number 3 movie? What's your number 3 movie, Tristan?
Um, Actually, they already have a pop figure of my number three, Kyle.
Michael
It
Jackson?
is no, it's Bruce Springsteen.
Oh.
Yeah, I I'm not on the Michael Jackson Michael train yet. I do think that's going to be pushed to 2026.
Mm,
And I
okay,
just think
first of
it.
all, this is all fake news. It's not getting
Yeah.
pushed. Like it's real news that it has to do massive reshoots in the third act, but
Yes.
it's fake news. This whole narrative of that it might get pushed. Just a reminder: this movie was supposed to come out back in April. I think they were like way ahead of schedule already before they did this whole reshoot thing.
Yeah.
So I don't believe any of the rumors that this is getting pushed to 2026. That they're behind schedule because they have to like reshoot the third act of the movie. I don't believe this narrative. This is all fake news.
I do.
It's staying in this November release date. It's going to be a
Maybe,
huge contender.
I think it's going to be like a really critically panned film.
Oh,
I
it'll
think
get
it's
blown
going to be
up type
awful.
reviews. It's going to get blown up type reviews,
Maybe I don't know.
but it will make
I
more than
think
Bo
it's
Rap.
going to
Bo
get
Rap made
worse.
what $840 million.
Yeah, this will make
Isn't
1.5
it?
billion.
Um,
It's Michael Jackson. I think people are going to go see
1.5
it.
is a lot. I was thinking more like how. Yeah, I guess the international box office will probably be huge.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably around like it's gonna make plus like 1.2 for sure.
yeah.
Um, but
I, I wonder if the Beatles movies are going to make a ton of money.
sorry.
The Beatles movies.
Oh no, because like okay,
It's
the thing
four
is,
of
I
them.
think it depends on how they do it. Like if they start off with like they need to start off with McCartney and end with Lennon because that's the way that you have to do it for it to make even
Yeah,
to get people locked in. You have to start with one of the big ones, and to get people to come at the end, they have to end with one of the
they're
big ones.
starting. I heard they're starting with Harrison, right? I
That's
think.
what they said. They said that they're going to start with Harrison because the way it's going to happen, from my understanding, is that there's going to be it's going to be like films that span like near the end, like around like the Let It Be era, and
Yeah,
there's going to be similar. There's going to be scenes from each perspective in each movie, like the same scenes, but then there's going to have like independent scenes of
yeah,
the whole Beatles. So I don't know how you depict Harrison and dying with like cancer as a first movie. That just doesn't make thematic sense to me.
yeah. I don't know. I'm
I guess you
really
want to do
excited for
Harrison
those
and Lennon
movies.
first because those are the guys who have died.
Yeah,
But
possibly.
it just makes sense to do Paul McCartney first to lock people in. That's the biggest name, and to end with
Yeah,
Lennon, and do Harrison second, Ringo third.
yeah. I mean, they're doing it all in the same year, right? So I
Yeah,
guess,
Mendes is directing it, and Paul Mescal I feel is also the biggest name,
yeah, for
and
sure.
he's
Of
playing
the
McCartney.
Paul or Barry. Barry's pretty huge.
But no one's gonna want to see a Ringo biopic.
No, no, I don't think so.
And the Charles Rowe guy who's playing George Harrison, is it Charles Rowe or did they change? I feel like they cast someone else. He was in the Bike Riders.
I think they cast the guy who From Stranger Things.
Oh, no, I think
Joseph something.
Joseph Quinn.
Yeah, I think he's in it.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Joseph
Prince.
Quinn, Harris Dickinson, Barry Keoghan, and Paul Mescal.
This is going to be a pain to predict in 2028 for the
Yeah.
Oscar nominees because, like, I don't know which
Yeah.
one, if they're all going to be campaign for Best Actor.
Yeah, probably not. We're
Yeah, I
way
have
off
no idea.
track. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
No
2028
worries.
Oscar
I'm
prediction.
just being silly.
So your number 3 is Jeremy Allen White. Why
Yes.
Jeremy Allen White?
So I think that this Bruce Springsteen movie is going to be pretty big. He's someone who's very loved by the Academy as well. He's been nominated before and won Oscars. And he's like, I think it's going to kind of be a similar, because he has the respect of like Bob Dylan, maybe not quite to the same degree, but he has a lot of critical acclaim. But he's a huge star. He has big recognizable hits. And he's very, like, unlike Bob Dylan, who's like this elusive figure, he's very personable and likable and relatable. And that's what people love about Bruce Springsteen. He's just so down to earth, but also larger than life. He's both at the same time. And I
This is
think
like early era Bruce Springsteen, so I just don't know how much that will connect
it's
with people. It might be a little too gritty for them.
it's not super early era because it's after Born to Run, but before Dancing in the Dark and Born in the USA and stuff. It's Nebraska, so this is his like stripped down. He broke up with the E Street Band for a little bit and just did his own thing, and it was like this very stripped down album. And people really love this album. It's like one of his most acclaimed. And Jeremy
I've only
Strong's,
ever listened to Born to Run. Should I do a whole Bruce Springsteen deep
yeah,
dive before
I
I?
I just saw him live in November. He was amazing.
Oh yeah,
He
still
went
got
on
the
for
sauce.
he went on for 3 hours, and he got there a little late, so he broke the curfew by an entire hour. And he played till like midnight. It was crazy.
Yeah, I was like listening to his podcast like maybe like a few years back. The podcast he did with Obama.
Yeah.
It was like the funniest podcast ever. Yeah, and it seems like he's heavily involved with this movie, so I'm curious. I think it's gonna happen, but like,
Yeah.
um, it's my number 5 right now. But
I mean,
yes,
Jeremy Allen White, kind of an awards darling on the TV side. So
I mean he's
good
only
crossover.
won the Emmy twice. He lost.
Still a lot of Emmys. It's more Emmys than most people have.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'm on.
yeah,
I'm on the train with you.
cool. And he's been nominated for every season of The Bear, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just realized the last Emmy show was for the Bear season 2, so he's won every
Oh,
single
true.
time he was nominated. So
Yeah.
the Bear season 3 will be campaigned this year. So the way that the Bear does it is that they drop the season in June during the voting period of the previous season.
Yeah.
So when the Bear season 4 comes out this June, it will be the voting for season 3, which people did not like. But
Yeah.
so he'll probably lose this year. Most likely to, I assume, Adam Scott for Severance.
Yeah.
But no, that's in drama.
That's
Bears in
drama.
comedy.
Um,
I
I don't know. Who would it
don't
be?
know. I'm sorry.
Shrinking
I
or
don't.
something?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
Jason Segel. I can pull up what's on Goldberry right
Oh,
now. But
Only Murders, I think, is this
oh,
season
Martin
number
Short.
4,
Yes,
though.
that's who won the SAG award. Martin Short
Yeah.
For Shrinking.
For
So
Only Murders.
for Only Murders
Yeah.
in the building. Yeah.
What is your number 3?
It
Oh,
was
no, you
Ballad of a
already
Small
said
Player.
it. Colin.
My number 4 is Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another.
Nice. I believe. Oh, no, I don't have him. My number 4 is Colin Farrell for. What is it called?
Ballad of a Small Player.
Yeah, Ballad of the Small Player. Why do you have Leonardo DiCaprio at number 4? Because most people have him at like 2, right?
Oh,
Right? Wouldn't
really?
you? Seems like it.
Yeah, I mean, he almost always gets nominated. In fact, his last movie was Don't Look Up, and that was like his first miss in a while.
And then
Um,
he missed for Killers of the Flower Moon as well.
oh, true, 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 true. Um, but this is PTA, so
Yeah.
this is PTA, and I imagine the teaser that dropped had so much sauce to it. I was
Yeah.
like, yeesh, you know it's happening. I feel good about it. Also, it'll probably be we were talking about how heavy social commentary will probably affect the performances. I think the nature of the story um will probably very much benefit this movie in terms of I don't know. We have to see how politically divisive this movie is. You can't really
Yeah,
quantify until we see the reactions. Um, but I think it'll probably benefit this movie in terms of nominating for actors.
for sure. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be good.
Hmm.
Um, he is not in my 5. He's my number 6.
Who's your number
Maybe I
five? Because
my
we've
number
already
f-
talked about Colin Farrell.
my number 5 is Brendan Fraser for Rental Family.
Oh my god.
Which I'm
Oh
really
my
high on. I'm
god.
really high on this movie. I think it's going to be Searchlight's big contender. I think Brendan Fraser is going to give a really heartfelt performance. It sounds perfect for him. Um, he's coming right off of his win for The Whale, and I think they're going to welcome him back. I think he is here to stay, and he's going to, between this playing Eisenhower, he's going to have a big year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. No, he is my number 7
cool.
because my number 5 was Jeremy Allen White, like we already talked about. My number 6 is Jafar Jackson from Michael. Um, we'll have to see, but he's playing Michael Jackson. That's enough for me to at least say he has to be in the top 10. So that's my
Yeah,
number 6. Brendan Fraser for Rental Family is my number 7. I think this is the performance of maybe his career. I feel like he's gonna cook really hard, probably better than the whale,
yeah,
more
I think so.
so. Um, I just don't know if I just feel like the time for like an afterglow nom maybe has passed for Brendan Fraser. So I think it'll have to be off the merit of a performance in the movie itself.
Yeah.
I'm too hesitant to say that Rental Family is as big as you're thinking it's gonna be right now, but we'll have to see.
That's fair. At my number 6, I have Leonardo DiCaprio,
You
who
already
we've
talked
already
about
talked
this.
about. So number 7. All right, this is kind of tough. Should I put Jafar? Um, no, I'm gonna put okay. Number 7, I am going to do Oscar Isaac. Now I'm gonna kind of cheat here because I'm going to say Oscar Isaac for either Frankenstein or In the Hands of Dante. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I think that movie is directed by Julian Schnabel, who often gets his actors nominated or gets some sort of nominations, even though he barely ever comes out with movies. At Eternity's Gate got Willem Dafoe a nomination. Before Night Falls got Javier Bardem a nomination, and then uh, The Diving Bell and the Butterfly got a ton of nominations, including Best Director. So I do think that like he's someone that the Academy really does respect and like, and they like the performances in his films. They're usually about artists. I don't know much about In the Hands of Day, but it's going to be a Venice play. Um, and Oscar Isaac, I feel like is pretty overdue. So I'm feeling he gets nominated for that, but Frankenstein I have in Best Picture. I think that's going to be a huge hit. He's playing Victor Frankenstein. I don't know how meaty of a role this is going to be, but I feel like he's going to do a great job and he's going to have a big year. So I say that there's a big possibility he gets nominated for either one of these roles, but I don't have him in my 5 at the moment because I don't know which one to choose.
Interesting. That's interesting. Hmm. So I'm not gonna cheat, but I'm choosing someone else who has two movies that are going to be campaign and lead most likely.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing the one that's lower on the list. Paul Mescal for History of Sound. You might remember I had this in my Best Picture nominations. I think this is going to be big. I think it's going to be more of a campaign over Hamnet.
Yeah.
I guess if
Hamnet's
you want,
supporting, right?
Hamnet, he's on Leon Awards expert, but if you've read the book, like
Yeah,
it's going to be supporting. I
for
mean,
sure.
he's barely in the book. So he's in the book quite a lot, but like he doesn't have anything to do in the book.
Yeah.
So like he's just a background character in the book. So it's like I don't know how much. I just can't imagine him getting nominated for him without like serious, substantial material added to this role.
Yeah.
Which Hammett, I mean, has a good narrative. He's playing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
He's
That's
playing
pretty cool.
Shakespeare. I mean, that's more so than like a fictional gay character, like in the History of Sound.
Yeah.
Um, but both are going to be period-esque roles. I'm assuming Paul Mescal will be campaign lead for the History of Sound as opposed to Josh O'Connor. I think Josh O'Connor will probably be brought into supporting, even though I think it's going to be a co-lead situation.
Yeah.
But I'm going to put Paul Mescal at number 8. I guess I'll cheat, like, just say History of Sound or Hamnet,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
I'm pretty sure that he's going to be supporting for Hamnet. So I do have History of Sound a little later. My number 8, let's go with, I'm going to do George Clooney for Jay Kelly. He's someone that has gotten a lot of nominations before and won for supporting. I could see him in the conversation to win again. Um, this is going to be like what he does best. He does these really grounded adult dramas or dramedies really well, and he's never worked with Baumbach before. They seem like a perfect pairing. And I love George Clooney's presence on screen. I think he's great. And working with Sandler sounds really fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this performance.
Yeah, he is not my 10, but he is close. My number 9 was Oscar Isaac for Frankenstein.
Nice.
Del Toro probably will be good performance. My number 10 is Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams.
Cool. Do you feel like this is going to be a big contender overall?
Train Dreams? I just feel like Netflix has like 8 movies that they could campaign.
Yeah,
So I'm just
it's
like,
crazy.
do I put Frankenstein? Do I put Train Dreams? Do I put Ballad of the Small Player? What are they going to end up doing in the end? It's all going to be based on the reactions of the films.
Yeah.
So that's why I have it at 10. What's your number 10? But I bought it at Sundance, and he got great reviews for his performance in Train Dream. So I'm like, if all else fails, they can always fall back on Joel Edgerton and give it like a widespread campaign. Clint Bentley's already kind of in the club as a screenwriter
Yeah.
for Sing Sing. So
Yeah, it could be. Just looking at this, I would say my number 9 is I'm not doing the Michael thing. So I'm gonna put Paul Mescal at number 9 for the History of Sound, who you've already talked about. And then I don't believe in the roses, but Benedict Cumberbatch does sound tempting. But I think I'm going to do Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon. He's playing the creator of Oklahoma. It premiered at Berlin to good reviews. The movie people really liked overall, but the performances especially, people were saying that he's really fantastic in it. And it feels like kind of similar to something like Bill Nye in Living, where that film didn't make a whole lot of traction at Sundance, but then he ended up staying in the conversation enough to get a nomination. I could see a similar thing with Blue Moon. People like Ethan Hawke a lot. He's a great actor. He has a ton of respect, and he he's that's one of the best like actor director pairings, him and Linklater. So I could see him sneaking in for this movie, and I definitely want to put him on my radar.
okay. Well, let's just quickly run through some of these other ones.
Yeah.
Austin Butler for Caught Stealing.
That's an August release, so I feel like it's going to be a little more of a
Well, it's
commercial.
Aronofsky, you know.
Yeah, could be. I'm
His
excited. That'll be
previous
cool.
film had an actor who won named Brendan Fraser for The Whale.
Yeah. Do why do you not have this one on your list? Because it on paper it does sound like a
I saw
big.
the set photos and it's awesome, but it was like a giant mohawk and it kind of turned me off.
Yeah, I agree. It was a crazy. Look, he looked like a clown. It was crazy. Yeah,
um, this is next year, but just in case, we'll end up for Is This Thing On? This is probably supporting, but just in case, Robert Pattinson for either Die My Love or the drama.
yeah. The drama's probably lead, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah,
But Die My Love is definitely supporting, probably.
yeah,
Denzel for Highest to Lowest. This is a summer release as well.
yeah. I think this is gonna be like really fun, but like Ice Spice, ASAP Rocky, like I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's just gonna be really fun. I don't think it's gonna be an Oscars thing.
The thing is, Delroy Lindo got very close at the end, and that was with The Five Bloods being a summer release.
Yeah, but that was pretty serious. That didn't have Ice Spice in it. I don't trust anything with Ice Spice being a serious Oscar contender. And maybe that's just like me. I don't know.
I
I
trust
think it's
anything
gonna be more
Spike
of a
Lee touches could be a serious Oscar contender, and he's worked with unconventional actors before. I don't know where the narrative is
yeah.
coming from, Tristan, but
I just
okay.
I listened to her album Y2K and it was like the worst thing I've ever heard, but also really entertaining at the same time. So I'm very very curious to see what she does in
Yeah,
this movie.
Jesse Plemons for Begonia.
Um Yeah, it could be. I don't know if it's lead or supporting or what's going on with that, but I feel like yeah, he could give a really fun performance as this like kind of crazy person who kidnaps Emma Stone.
The Return of Daniel Day Lewis and Anemone.
Anemone, I think.
Anemone.
Anemone, like an
Anemone.
anemone with like the that's like what
The
Finding Nemo
fish.
is in. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. You feeling good about Daniel? He's the goat. The goat coming out of
He is the
retirement
go.
to do his son
Yeah.
movie. Roman
Um
Day Lewis.
I feel this could be a 2026 thing because it was very last minute, but
I mean, they
and it
started
could
filming what in like late 2024. It could make the end of the year.
maybe, yeah. And it is
I
a
don't know if it has distribution yet though.
I think it's Focus.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. They have a lot. They're like really cooking this year.
So does Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix and Focus are going crazy. And A24.
Mm-hmm.
Searchlight's just like I don't know what they're doing. Um
They're
yeah,
focused. They're on their grind. They're on their hustle.
they
They don't
are.
get distracted by all these 20 movies.
I know.
Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey for The Rivals of Amaziah King
Or
got
The
great
Lost
reviews.
Bus.
Or The Lost Bus.
Yeah.
Both got great reviews. Oh, Lost Bus isn't premiered yet, but Amaziah King got great reviews out of South
Yeah.
by.
It did. Yeah. I'm so excited for this movie. It's going to be in my top 10. I'm calling it right now. I loved The Vast of Night, so I can't wait for this.
I haven't seen it. Lee Bing Young Hoon for No Other Choice, the Park Chan Wook movie.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I think it's going to be more like his a less decision to leave and more like uh his other stuff like Old Boy and that sort of thing. I think it's going to be a lot more action based.
Yeah, Andrew Scott for Pressure.
Possibly. Is he lead?
He's gonna be a lead.
Maybe he's also in the supporting conversation for Blue Moon. So
Yes, yeah. For Linklater, he won an award at Berlin for Blue Moon.
yeah,
Yeah. John McGarl for Omaha. We both saw this movie.
I don't
No,
think so.
no.
No, definitely not.
Uh,
He's
Joshua
really good, but it's way too quiet.
Josh O'Connor for Mastermind. Kelly Reichardt. I think this is one that I wish that the Lynn Ramsey narrative that we've been pushing this year was surrounding Kelly
Yeah,
because I want Kelly Reichardt to have a breakout so badly.
yeah,
But
I
I don't think
agree.
so. It's always
Yeah,
just too quiet for her.
she's a very very subtle director. But this is a heist movie. This could be like her Ocean's 11.
Mm-hmm. That would be
Yeah,
fun.
that would be fun.
Yeah. But I feel like one day her Oscar breakout it'll have to be with Michelle Williams. Michelle Williams will be like the driving force that will bring it up.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
supporting actress.
Okay, so supporting actress. Let me pull that up.
Or do you have
Oh,
any other for actor you want to mention really briefly?
yes, I do. I have one that probably should have been in my 10. Wagner Mora for The Secret Agent. He was
This is
in,
just fake news because people will want to predict that I'm still here.
yes, Brazil. He was in Civil War and was not in the conversation at all, but he's going to be in a Brazilian movie called The Secret Agent, and I just think we should keep more Brazilian films in the conversation right now.
I
Jack
concur.
Black for a Minecraft. Oh, I did such a disservice. This should have been my 5, but I'm not gonna slot him in because it's possible this is 2026. There's a movie coming out called Late Fame, and it
I heard
stars.
of it.
So I don't really know the director. I've never seen anything from him, but Kent Jones, I think. But it's
Oh,
written by Sammy Birch, who did May December.
oh, and
Um,
Coyote versus Acme.
yeah, and this is starring um, Willem Dafoe. It was supposed to star Sandra Hüller alongside him, but she dropped out for another project, and then Greta Lee took her place. And
Oh
it's
wow.
about a poet who goes most of his life totally unknown, and then Greta Lee discovers his work and publishes it online, like under him, not stealing his work or anything. And he gets this tons of like acclaim and fame, like really late into his career, and he has to grapple with that, like people not really celebrating him for all of these years, and now he's like this big figure. So it
That sounds
sounds like it
based.
could be,
Oh
yeah, it could
lord.
be really good. And there's kind of rumors that it could show up at Cannes, and that it's going to be like it's going to be a really meditative drama. So this could be a huge film, and I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, it's not totally confirmed that this is 2026. It has no distribution. Sorry, 2025. Um, Outside of that, that's pretty much all I have, I think. Brad Pitt for F1 is not happening. Um, yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay, supporting actress then.
Um, Supporting actress.
It's off, Tristan.
Okay. Uh, I'm going to put, what should I do? Um,
Elle Fanning, sentimental value.
no, that is on my list, but not number 1. I'm going to go with Gwyneth Paltrow for Marty Supreme. Um,
Interesting.
does she win? I don't know. Um, she's her win for
Shakespeare in Love is so controversial.
it's very controversial, but I think she's going to kind of reclaim that narrative. She is a controversial figure overall with her whole Goop thing.
Okay, you want to hear a funny story about that?
Yeah,
I had one time there was a girl that I liked. I was
yeah,
swaying with her pretty heavily. And it was her birthday was coming up, and as a joke, I bought the I bought the roll on vagina, the roll on thing that from her website that smells like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina. So like kind
yeah,
of like a deodorant that smells like a vagina.
yeah.
And I gave it to her as a birthday gift. And then we never talked again.
Oh no! Wait, are you serious?
I'm being dead ass.
Oh no! Was she like offended?
No, she was just, I think she was just weirded out. Why would you
Yeah,
buy me something that smells like you want me to smell like Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina?
yeah. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's crazy.
Traumatizing.
Yeah. My god. Um,
So I have bias against Gwyneth
but
Paltrow.
that's fair. I do think she's kind of a controversial figure, but this seems like it's going to be a really big role. There's a lot of set photos of her in like these like old style, like elegant dresses. She's come out and said she has a lot of sex scenes with Timothy Chalamet randomly. So I think she's
Mm,
going to be in the movie a lot, and it's probably going to be a big performance. And I would say I'm pretty confident about her getting a nomination.
yeah. I think I'm more confident about my number one, which is Ariana Grande for Wicked for Good.
Nice.
And
Yeah, that's fair.
that's my number one. That's my number one. So
Think she's gonna win this year?
no, it's just my most likely for nomination.
Fair.
Ariana Grande? No.
Yeah.
No way, Jose. No way, Jose. But I think she should be good for a nom. I think it's gonna be just as good as last time, and
Yeah.
people will like her. Yeah.
I think that yeah, you got a good point with her. She's definitely on my list. My number 2 is Io Debris for After the Hunt.
Hey,
She's
that's my
also
number two.
someone. Oh, nice. She's been someone in the conversation for Emmys for like she won and stuff. She's super well liked. People really want her to be like the next big movie star. And this is going to be a great role for her. She's acting opposite Julia Roberts. I could see her definitely getting a nomination for this.
Just like how we got the Roy Boys in last year with Karen and Jeremy, we're gonna get the Bear Fam.
Yes.
Jeremy Allen White and Io Debris.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my number two as well. So yeah, I think Io's gonna be really good. And given the role, it seems like it's gonna be fairly meaty. The idea of playing like a victim of something like sexual assault like on a college campus seems something that would be timely and also kind of relatable to the overall vast majority of people who just want to support something like that. So
yeah,
I think she should be good for a nomination. My number 3 is Gwyneth Paltrow from Marty Supreme, which we already talked about, but I think it's going to be a good performance. It's going to be pretty good. She's going to kill it, and I don't think she will win, but I think it will be a strong performance regardless.
Okay, so I'm thinking about putting Ariana Grande at 3. Do you think that she is like I don't really remember Wicked?
You should do it just so it's the inverse of mine.
Okay, yeah, sure. Ariana Grande for Wicked, for Good. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like part 2.
She has less to do with this one. If that was what you're gonna ask me.
Yeah, I kind of want to take her out.
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I have other people I'd rather put in. Okay, so number 3, I'm gonna put Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. Should have gotten a nomination for 1001. She was actually probably my winner for Best Actress that year, over Emma Stone. Sandra Hüller maybe was number 1, and then Tiana Taylor. I thought she was phenomenal in that movie. And then Regina Hall, I hear, also will be a big contender, whether it's lead or supporting. But yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good about one of them for One Battle After Another.
That is your number 4.
3, because I didn't put in Ariana.
Okay. My number 4 is Tilda Swinton for The Ballad of the Small Player.
Nice.
Going all in on Edward Berger.
Yeah, that's smart.
All in, baby. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. Tilda, when was the last nomination? It was it? Was it her win?
I think so. She didn't get nominated for the Lynn Ramsey movie, right? She was in. No. She almost did. I know she was in the conversation, but for We Need to Talk About Kevin, that was considered a big snub at the time.
That was like 2011. Yeah. No, I think it was her win. Anyways, I think it's time to
weirdo stuff.
Time to bring her back, baby. It's time to bring her back.
Yeah.
I thought she would get nominated for a Fincher movie, but getting nominated for Edward Berger is fine with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she will. That sounds like it could probably happen. When did she work with Fincher?
She was in The Killer.
Oh, cool.
Fincher's last movie.
Yeah, I never saw that. I should probably go back and watch that. That and Bones and All are like 2 huge movies that I just never saw for reasons. So I gotta go back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, my number 4 is. I'm gonna join you. I'm gonna put. She was my number 5, but I'm switching it around a bit. I'm gonna put Tilda Swinton for Ballad of the Small Player. I have a lot of confidence in that movie. I think it's going to be really great. She is going to have a meaty role. I think she's playing some sort of a, like, not a ghost, but like some, like, I don't know if she's an actual ghost or what's going on, but that's what the plot sounds like.
Oh, I didn't know anything about her role, but I was assuming she was probably gonna be like a loan shark because it's about gambling
I
addiction
think she's a
and the guy's
ghost.
hiding out. Okay,
I
hype.
I
That's even better.
I don't know if it's
Didn't she
if
just do
she's
a movie like that, like called The Eternal Daughter with Joanna Hogg, like when she
yeah.
was playing a ghost? That's crazy.
I don't know if she's like like an actual ghost or like if it's like ghosts of the past or whatever, but there's some sort of supernatural thing going on. Um I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. That's just what I read on Wikipedia.
Okay.
Um yeah, it's Tilda Swinton. She's definitely due for another nomination and almost got it with um the Pedro movie, Room Next Door. So yeah, I would say she's pretty likely for another nomination here. And then my number 5 would be, let's go Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value. She's been in the conversation multiple times, but has never gotten a nomination. She's gotten a lot of love for The Great on the TV side. I think it's her time, and I think this is the
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of agree. Um, my number 5 is Glenn Close for Wake Up Dead Man: A Knives Out Mystery.
nice. Yeah,
Now, the Knives Out movies have only competed for 4 awards: screenplay, picture, actor, and supporting actress. The last 2 supporting actress plays, Anna de Armas and Janelle Monáe, did not materialize. The question is it Mila Kunis or Glenn Close who is the supporting actress play for this movie? I suspect it's Glenn Close. Hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully Ryan Johnson knows to do the right person, you know?
yeah. I agree. Although Mila Kunis was robbed for Black
Black
Swan
Swan.
and needs another nomination. Um, yeah, I think that uh, this makes sense on paper. It's Glenn Close. She hasn't gotten an Oscar yet. She has like 8 nominations. We need to make it happen at some point. I heard like some people speculate Josh O'Connor is going to be the main character in that kind of role.
He's going
Um,
to be the priest, but it's never been an actor
yeah, I
who's
agree.
really ever.
I feel like it's Glenn Close. That makes sense to me.
That would make sense to me. Josh O'Connor's going to have a big year because he has a Sundance movie. He has Mastermind. He has History of Sound. He has Knives Out.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of good work right now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that this is
He
a
has
good pick.
he just won an Addy Award for Challengers.
He
In
did,
acting.
yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Can he get
Glenn
an Afterglow
Close,
win?
maybe, maybe he can
Maybe.
for one of these. Maybe he gets actor and supporting actor.
I
Or
tried to do that.
MVP.
You blocked me. You blocked me from doing La Chimera.
I think that this is definitely a good pick. I'm going to put Glenn Close at my number 6.
Okay.
Um, my number 7 would be Jennifer Lopez for Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Okay, so it's interesting because I'm going to say my 6 and 7 since you mentioned them both already. Regina Hall and Elle Fanning are my
Mhm.
6 and 7. Um,
No
yeah,
Tiana Taylor.
she is my number 14.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, we'll talk about it later, I guess. But yeah, Elle Fanning, Regina Hall. I kind of just did whatever you said. I think they're both going to be really high up for this. I think Elle Fanning specifically was like really on the cusp for completely unknown. Not on the cusp. She was not close, but like
She was
uh she was
somewhat.
like number 10 maybe. But
Yeah.
like good enough, close enough. Anyways, and you said your number 7 is who?
My number 7 was Jennifer Lopez for Kiss of the Spider Woman. Got a lot of hype there. We should have talked about Chana Tua for Best Actor. Because I've heard some amazing things about him. And
I just don't believe this movie is going to happen.
yeah, I don't know. It hasn't been picked up yet. That's a real red flag, considering how big of a buzzy premiere it was at Sundance. And then the reviews weren't that great, even though the audience reactions were. So I can't jump on board yet, but we'll
You
see if
think
it
she'll
gets some
be
revival.
You think Sin City's trial will be happening around fall festival season, that Jennifer Lopez might get it like into any controversy
She might, yeah.
with the
We'll
Diddy
have to
stuff?
see. I don't know. Yeah, it's
Don't
possible.
worry. Don't worry, she's innocent. She's innocent, so
Yeah, we'll have to see.
hopefully.
My number 8 is Ariana Grande. Who's your number 8?
That's so low. It's Emily Blunt for the Smashing Machine.
That's my number 9.
Okay, my number 9 is Neil Long for Michael.
Okay, cool. With Emily Blunt, do you think Afterglow nomination? I mean, not that she won for Oppenheimer, but
I guess so.
yeah, it's possible. Especially if the Smashing Machine's really great.
Yeah. I think for her to get in the Smashing Machine has to be a picture contender as opposed to Marty Supreme.
Yeah, I would agree with that. My number 9 is gonna be Regina Hall for One Battle After Another. I do think Tiana Taylor is going to be more of the play, but I would put Regina Hall in there for sure.
Okay.
Did you already say your number 9?
Neil Long for Michael.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
she's going to be playing Michael Jackson's mom, which
Yeah,
is a very interesting story
definitely.
in itself. So perhaps this could be a movie.
Yeah.
You're a Kanye fan, right?
I don't really.
Oh,
Yeah, I
sorry.
don't listen to the recent stuff, but
Bully just came out, but I haven't listened to
is it an
it.
album or just a song?
So it's like an unfinished album, kind of like normal
Oh,
Kanye stuff,
Dawn to
like
Two.
Dawn to
Yeah.
2, yeah, or Vultures 1 and
Yeah.
2, which is totally unfinished
Yeah.
when it came out. But it's
haven't.
all on YouTube. The whole album's on YouTube. He posted by Kanye himself. Nowhere else. You have to listen to it on YouTube.
Is it good or not really?
I liked it, but
Maybe I
like,
should check it out. I don't know.
feel any
I
pressure
haven't
to
listened to
support
anything since
Nazism.
Vultures. Yeah.
Don't be peer
Yeah, I
pressure by
haven't.
me. Uh, anyways, Neil Long. I was saying Neil Long because he references Neil Long in his song "Touch the Sky," and I just thought of that when I mentioned her name.
Nice.
And number 10 is for me Sissy Spacek. Sissy Spacek for "Die My Love."
Heck yeah. Yeah, she's a great actress.
Is her husband the production designer, one who Roger Fisk, I want to say his name is, the one who did the Clues of Retirement production design? Do you think he'll get nominated for he's doing a movie this year. What is he doing? Give me a second.
I also have Sissy Spacek at number 10. Yeah, part of me wants to put Emily Watson there, but I do think Sissy Spacek.
Oh yeah, sorry. He's sorry. He did Marty Supreme. Jack Fisk is not his name, not Roger.
Oh,
Fisk.
okay, cool.
Jack Fisk.
Yeah. Nice.
I guess we'll talk about when we get to Below the Line.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Sissy Spacek has a great comeback narrative. She's another one of those like Jessica Lange, where she was nominated all the time in the 80s. Like she got, I don't know, 4 or 5 nominations. She's won an Oscar for Coal Miner's Daughter. It's considered a really great win. And yeah, she's a great actress. She's having a comeback right now with a TV show that just premiered with a pretty big cast, and she's one of the main stars. So I think Michelle Williams is the other big actress in that show. And then she's going to have this, and it's going to be a really fun role. So yeah, I think it depends on how small the role is. I think she might play her mom, because I think Nick Nolte is going to play the dad.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We will. We will. We will. Sissy Spayek. I would love for it to happen.
I got. Do you want me to go through some other
Did you
names
hear your
that
10 yet?
I did? Yeah, that was my 10.
Okay, then yeah, you can just go through if you want to go this time and just say
Sure.
all the films.
Emily Watson, Hamnet.
This is one that's interesting. I actually do think this could happen.
Yeah.
Um, yes, I'm gonna say yes. This is definitely a prospect.
Cool.
A makeup
Mikhail.
nomination for her for snub for Wicked Low Letters last year.
Yes.
I'm just-
Michaela Cole for Mother Mary.
It depends. I think she could come along with Anne Hathaway if Anne Hathaway gets in.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's going to be dependent on. It's a co-lead situation, right? It's going to be like a co-lead thing.
Yeah,
So
because I
I
believe
think so.
Schaefer
If
also.
they if it's meaty enough, then sure.
Yeah. This is one I've heard is absolutely sensational in a movie we did talk about. Angelina Looking Glass in The Rivals of Amazon King. She's a brand new star. I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably Indie Spirits, but
probably she's young, right?
she looks like she's probably in her teens or early 20s. Let me look.
I think she might be. I think she might actually have a really early narrative. I think she could probably be in that Gotham breakthrough actor category.
Yeah. She's 21, so she's
Yeah, I
young
don't
but
know if
not
they
like
filmed this.
super.
I feel like they filmed this a long time ago. I think they filmed this like they said like a few years ago. So she might have been
Oh,
able to
okay.
qualify for Indie for Critics' Choice Young Actor if they filmed it more than 3 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I
But
think that's 21 and under anyways, so she would still qualify.
I thought it was 18 and under. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah,
Um,
okay. Maybe, probably not because she's just a little young and she's kind of unknown, but maybe.
yeah, I think it's a possible one. There's Laura Dern and Jay Kelly.
There's Laura Dern. Is this thing on?
Maybe.
Yeah, this is possible. I feel
Yeah,
like it's gonna maybe. I don't know. I just don't see it.
it might be more slight because
Noah
that's a
Baumbach
huge.
got her to win last
He
time.
did, yeah.
So
This is going to be a huge ensemble, so I don't know how much screen time she'll have. Mia Goth and Frankenstein. I know you're not very high on, right?
I'm high on Frankenstein as a whole, but like Mia Goth,
Yeah.
no. If it's book accurate, it's gonna be book accurate, so she'll have a big role in it.
Yeah. I'm going to run through a couple real quick. Jamie Lee Curtis, Ella McKay,
No.
Margaret Qualley, Blue
Well,
Moon.
you know what? Jamie Lee Curtis has gone close the past few times.
Yeah,
Um,
she'll be in the conversation just because she's the
yeah.
best campaigner around.
So yeah, sure. Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah, sure.
Margaret Qualley for Blue Moon. I haven't heard enough about.
No.
I don't think this is coming out this year, but Demi Moore could have a rebound with I
Boots
Love
Riley,
Boosters. Yeah,
that's Neon, and we know how Neon treats movies that aren't her main contender.
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Clara and the Sun, Amy Adams, probably not.
Yes.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. I mean, Ishigu novel.
Yeah,
Taika gives me some reservations because he sucks.
yeah,
But
but
we'll see.
maybe.
It's Amy Adams, so
Yeah. And then Felicity Jones, Train Dreams,
yeah.
Alicia Silverstone, Begonia,
No.
Thomason McKenzie, Ann Lee,
Yes.
America Ferrera, The Lost Bus.
No. I just don't know if I buy the Lost Bus narrative.
There's Greta Lee for Late Fame.
You already talked about this.
And then the other one that's kind of there's Pamela Anderson is back for a movie called Rosebush Pruning.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Fela Chen for Ballad of the Small Player. She has the
I think it's
supporting.
gonna surround Tilda Swinton probably.
Yeah, I agree. Outside of that, I don't really see anything that
Fran
could be
Drescher for
possible.
Mari Supreme.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another big one. Um,
Responsibility
Naomi Aki for Sorry
for,
Baby. She's having
for
a
Mickey
big year.
17.
SZA for One of Them Days.
Oh yeah, Kiki Palmer. No, yeah.
All right, yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Let's do supporting actor and then we can end this one. All right. Should I go or do you want to go for supporting actor?
I will go,
Cool.
and I will start off with Coleman Domingo for Michael. Number one. He's
Nice.
number one. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I think playing his dad is his abusive father. He's gonna be slapping Jafar Jackson across the face. Will be so baity. He's gonna get
Yeah.
like the Mahershala Ali or Anne Hathaway narrative, where he's just so dominant in the first act of the movie, and it's just such an insane performance that it's just gonna be undeniable. Like
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali for like Moonlight or
I think
Anne Hathaway for Les Mis. He'll have like 25 minutes of screen
he's a
time in like the
great
first act.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. He's a great actor, so and he has a great narrative. He was just nominated back to back, so he already has 2 nominations. Um, he's very well loved. Did you see the clip of him during the commercial breaks for the Oscars? He got on
Doing
stage
shots on
and
stage,
started
yeah.
playing. Yeah, he started playing music and like dancing and stuff. That is awesome. Um,
That's what's gonna win him.
yeah,
People love him.
people do love him. He's apparently just such a great guy. And he's someone who worked really hard for his success and finally got it late into his career. Um, yeah, he has a great narrative. But I do think Michael's going to be pushed. I know I could be very wrong, but I'm
It's
just
fake
going to
news.
go
It's
with
not
that.
getting pushed. What's the reason for why it would be pushed?
Because they're refilming the entire third act. That sounds
It
to
was
me
supposed to
like
come out in April. It was supposed to come out like next month.
I never heard that. I wrong,
What
but
do you mean? It was
I
originally
only
dated
heard
for April.
was it? I only heard
Yes.
November the
Google it
entire
right
time.
now. It was originally dated for April. This movie was probably already done. They're just doing like a quick little reshoot of it. It's not like it's like even I feel like the reshoot is just like okay, now it's gonna make itself on time. I thought it was already gonna be like completed for like months before it came out.
It was originally April. Yeah, you're right. And then it got pushed. Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
just
I
it's coming out this year. I don't believe this. No, it's coming out this year.
okay. I'm probably wrong on this, but I'm gonna keep it out for now.
Okay.
My number one is Stellan Skarsgård for sentimental value.
You're
Uh,
lame.
I
You're
think
just going
that
along with the crowd. You want to deny
what
Coleman Domingo for your
I
fans.
I was like the first person to talk about sentimental
I know,
value because
I
like
know. I was hearing it from you for a long time. I'm just joking, just pushing your balls.
uh yeah, I think that Stellan Skarsgård has a great narrative. He's been around for a long time. He is the dad of the Skarsgårds. Everyone loves the
He's
Skarsgårds.
also the best Mamma Mia dad.
He's not, I don't think.
Yes, he is. Okay, it goes Stellan Skarsgård,
Yeah,
then Colin Firth, then Pierce Brosnan.
I don't know. Maybe. I kind of
Wait, what?
disagree.
What's your ranking?
Colin Firth, Pierce Brosnan, and then Stellan Skarsgård.
You're such an L, dude. You're such an L.
Yeah, so Stellan, great narrative. He's going to be playing the dad in this. And he has a big role. He's trying to come back into his daughter's life and is a film director. Um, yeah, I see this as a huge showcase for him, and I could see a big narrative around him getting an Oscar. Um, my number two right now is Andrew Garfield for After the Hunt.
My number two is Andrew Garfield for After the Hunt.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I've always kind of seen him more lead Oscar, but um, never know. Like he's a great actor. He's kind of overdue at this point. He has 2 nominations. Not overdue, but like it feels like the right time to award him.
He has 3 nominations: Hacksaw Ridge, Social Network, and Tick Tick Boom.
No, he didn't get nominated for Social Network. It was like a big snub.
No, really.
Yeah, I
He
don't think
deserved to
so.
win that year. That's crazy.
I agree. Yeah, it's really crazy. Uh, yeah, Andrew Garfield, Oscars. Um, yeah, only the 2. He didn't get
Dude,
nominated.
I really gotta refresh my Oscar history. I've just been making so many mistakes lately. I
No,
just
it's okay.
forgot all
I,
my knowledge.
I've been like obsessively going through like the lineup, so that's the only reason why it's very recent in my memory. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a Beatty role. I mean, he's acting opposite Julia Roberts. He's playing the teacher that was accused of sexual assault. So big
Mhm.
role for him.
Literally, I think all of his films, both Tick Tick Boom and Hacksaw Ridge, Hugh is competitive for maybe my favorite performance of the 5.
Not Hacksaw Ridge for me, but Tick Tick
Okay,
Boom
wait.
for sure.
Like Casey Affleck is of
Definitely not
course
him.
number 1,
Yeah,
but like I think Hacksaw Ridge was
number 2.
Denzel and Fences is
Uh
really good, but I actually think I might like say like
I like Denzel more. He was my number 3, I would say, for Hacksaw. But I
okay.
actually might like him for Silence more than I do for Hacksaw.
Me too. I
Um,
think Hacksaw's a better movie, though. I'm sorry.
I agree. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't like Silence very much.
yeah. What was I gonna say? My number 3 is. Can you want to take a guess? You should know this. You should know
Um,
this. You
is
should know this.
it Sean Penn?
No, it's Tahar Rahim for Alpha.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's go. Let's go.
That sounds random. I'm sorry. How could you not put the lead of Alpha in actress and put Tahar Rahim in supporting? That makes no
Tahar Rahim
sense.
like almost won like for the Mortation in supporting actor before.
He didn't almost win. Do you think
And
so? Really?
no, but he got BAFTA longlisted and he
Yeah,
got Globe nomination.
but not the Oscar.
No.
Yeah, he was close. I'll give you
He's
that.
probably given the Mortarian success, given that Jodie Foster won for at a Golden Globes. I think he was probably the runner-up at a Golden Globes.
Maybe they did like that movie randomly. I've never seen it. I didn't watch
Neither
it.
have I. But Tahar Rahim, if it's let's go. Demi Moore
Maybe.
campaign, baby. Give him
Um,
the Demi Moore campaign.
my number 3 is Sean Penn for
Tahar.
One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
He's playing a fascist. He's Sean
Yeah.
Penn.
Mm-hmm.
He's won
I'm
2
afraid it's Licorice
Oscars.
Pizza. I'm
I
afraid
I heard though like test screening reactions were specifically singling him out as the best performance and saying that it's just hilarious and he's in it a lot and he's so like over the top and fun and it's just like really showy and just a
okay.
great role for him. And
I'll take
the
your word for it. I'll move it up.
the Academy does kind of love him. He's won twice. He's been nominated a ton of times. He had like a period there where he was always in the conversation. So
Okay.
I could see him getting another nom. It's been a while.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Um, my number 4 is you're gonna hate this. You're not gonna like this one. I have Mark Hamill for The Life of Jack.
Why did I not like that? I like Mark Hamill's performance in the movie.
But you told me that not to put The Life of Chuck in my picture predictions.
I think this is after adapted screenplay. I think this is the most likely.
Yeah, maybe.
I
I
could see
still
this
haven't
getting.
picked it.
I could see this getting Sing Singed and doing just screenplay and like an acting nomination.
Yeah.
Um, but Mark Hamill is not in my 5.
I think it would be a great narrative for him, and he's pretty showy in that movie.
Yeah. My number 4 is Josh O'Connor for The History of Sound.
Nice. He does need a nomination soon.
I
He's
just want him to get one. I'm just gonna protect him wherever I can. My number
yeah,
5 is Sean Penn for One Bad After Another. Since
nice.
you convinced me.
That's a great one. My number 5 is Jeremy Strong for Deliver Me from Nowhere.
Yeah.
Back for
You,
another nomination.
did you have Deliver Me from Nowhere in your picture predictions and you're predicting for 2 acting nominations?
I think it was my number 10. I
Okay.
initially had the Kendrick Lamar movie, and then
Whitney
I
Springs.
flipped it. Yeah, I flipped it.
Okay. Yeah. My number 6 is Robert Pattinson for Die My Love.
Nice. He would also be my number 6. He is someone who has a really great narrative and 3 films this year. So, I mean, people really want him to get nominated. He could be the MVP of the year. Yeah, definitely think he could get a nomination. Again, I'm a little tepid about that movie. I need to kind of see who has it, and a little bit more information about the movie first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your yeah, that's your number 6. My number 7 is Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental. You already kind of talked about this.
Yeah,
Best Mom and Dad deserves a nomination. So
nice.
con player for Neon.
Um,
um,
yeah, that's a good pick.
you're 7.
My 7 would be I keep looking over because I got my awards expert app open.
I have mine
Um,
too.
nice. Adam Sandler, Jay Kelly. I mentioned George Clooney. I don't know about this movie. It could kind of feel a little slight, maybe more like the Meyerowitz stories. And it doesn't seem like it has that like emotional gravitas just based on the plot description that something like Marriage Story had. So I'm not
Feels
quite
more like
all in.
Greenberg or Quinn the Whale esque of Baumbach.
Or like Meyerowitz stories, like that kind of family drama.
Mm-hmm.
But Adam Sandler, I mean, that's someone people really would love to see getting a nomination. So
And he was at the Oscars last year too.
yeah, it would be fun. It would be really great. He's super funny, and he's done some great dramatic work. He's kind of feeling like a Jim Carrey. Like they can't get over the fact that he's a comedian and he's silly sometimes, but he has some great dramatic work, and he should have been nominated at least once at this point.
Jim Carrey.
Truman Show, Eternal Sunshine, Man on the Moon.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I would have
Sonic the
nominated him
Hedgehog
3
3.
times. Yeah, that's true. That one too. Um,
My
all right.
number 7?
Yeah,
My number 7. No, my number 8 is Mark Hamill
Mark Hamill.
for The Life of
Nice.
Chuck.
I already listed that one. So my number 8 is Jonathan Bailey, Wicked for Good.
Cope. But my number 9 is Adam Sandler for Jay Kelly.
Nice. My number 9 would probably be I'm going to do Paul Mescal for Hamnet.
My number 10 is Jeremy Strong for Deliver Me from Nowhere.
And my number 10 would be I'm going to do I've seen this movie, and I feel like there could be quite a campaign. So I'm going to do Dylan O'Brien for Twinless.
He has gay sex in this movie.
He does, yes.
Yes. And it leaked on Twitter, and then they moved the movie off Sundance.
Yeah.
Dylan O'Brien fans.
He's great. He's really, really great.
It seems like his stands are assholes.
Huh?
It seems like his stands are assholes.
Yeah, they're really bad. But yeah, I was super impressed by him in this role. It's got a lot of range. So
What's with the Sims icons on top of their heads in the poster?
so they play like he basically goes to a Halloween party
Oh.
and plays a sim. Yeah.
I thought it was like gonna be like like Sims.
No, I wish. Yeah. No, they're
That'd be
playing
funny.
they go to a Halloween party.
What's that all about? The Sims icons at the top of their heads. Okay. You want to just quickly run through some of the other ones?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got Andrew Scott for Blue Moon.
Yes. This is Sony Pictures Classics.
Yeah.
One Berlin. Possible.
Yeah, I think so too. You already talked about Josh O'Connor. Jeffrey Wright, highest to lowest.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I agree. Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, he's gonna be the monster. He's gonna go and
If it's like actually book accurate, it'll probably be like less monstrous, but more like a kind of meditation on like reanimation.
yeah. This is a really interesting one if this movie ends up coming out. Mark Rylance for The Way of the Wind.
Is he playing the devil? Right? That's what I heard.
Yes, from what I hear.
Okay. So if this is if it's I don't know, so it's adapting the New Testament of the Bible. The devil shows up very sparingly. The devil only shows up to tempt Jesus when he's fasting for 40 days. So if it's book accurate to the Bible, is it going to be a book accurate?
If it's book accurate to the Bible, it's like 20 hours long.
If it's book accurate to the Bible, yeah, it's 20 hours long, and then the devil shows up like in like 5 scenes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say that's a crazy performance that I'm excited to see.
No, but also in the Bible, the devil doesn't show up in physical form. It's just voiceover. It would just be voiceover, I'm assuming.
I guess so. I don't know. You never know with Terrence Malick.
No, but is it going to be book accurate to the Bible?
I doubt it. I don't think so.
How do you tell the story of Jesus? Can we make her a Christian biopic, Tristan? We should, I want to, okay, here's our life goal. We're going to make a mini series called The Bible. And you know how there's 66 books in the Bible?
Yeah.
We're going to adapt all 66 books of the Bible into a 70-episode miniseries.
Nice.
Each episode an hour long.
I like that idea. Okay, I got a couple more for you, and then we will wrap this up. Conan O'Brien, I Have Legs.
No.
That's not what it's called. If I had legs, I'd kick you. Tyler the Creator, Marty Supreme.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
I'm kind of like optimistic about this.
See,
what's with the sexism? You're okay with rappers in Safdie Brothers movies, but you're not okay with Ice Spice in a Spike Lee movie?
Because they are very different levels of quality. I love female rappers. Like, come on, I am.
Have you been listening to the Sexy Red said with the Sexy Red song with Bruno Mars?
I hate
Juicy
that song.
and Wet. I've been listening to it all the time.
I'm a big Little Sims, Doechii, Rhapsody, Lauryn Hill. You know, I like a lot of female rappers. I don't like Sexy Red or Ice Spice, but Tyler the Creator, the difference is that he's so like he's someone who's very animated, and I feel like he could give a great performance. Like he's definitely he has acting chops for sure.
Maybe it's a Spike Lee hater. Let's see if you mentioned A$AP Rocky in this list.
A$AP Rocky, there you go. No.
No, I don't think so.
We've got yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, maybe
I have a few more then.
Jude Law for The Wizard of the Kremlin, but I feel like that's not this year.
It's probably not coming out this year, no.
Yeah.
And even if it was, I think I would never predict any Oliver Sayers movie.
I'm gonna predict that.
Joe Allen for Hamnet.
Yeah.
Christopher Abbott. For Ann Lee, he has a very close working relationship with Mona Fastbold.
True.
Um, and he, I feel, has been like one of those guys who's been on the cusp. Like, I think in a different, there's like a universe where maybe he gets like a supporting actor nomination for Poor Things if people just uh come around to that campaign a little bit. Like he could have came along with the cast, but he just didn't.
Yeah, I agree. He's
So
definitely
Christopher Abbott for
someone.
Ann Lee, what do you think?
I would say, yeah, I'd say that's something we should consider.
Albert Brooks for Ella McKay,
Um, why not? Why not? That would be cool.
Benicio del Toro for either The Phoenician Scheme or One Battle After Another,
He's lead in the Phoenician scheme, it sounds like, but one battle after another, I do think Sean Penn's got that slot on lock.
Michael Cera for The Phoenician Scheme.
No, but that would be awesome. I see a lot of people predicting this.
Yeah, Stephen Graham for Deliver Me from Nowhere. He's gonna win an Emmy this year.
Um, yeah, maybe he was kind of in the conversation for Blitz early on.
Yeah, Austin Butler for Eddington.
No, I don't think so.
Pedro for Eddington because I think Joaquin's lead.
I think Eddington's gonna be a misfire,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
maybe Pedro for Materialists.
Yeah.
I think
No.
Golden Globes. I think will eat up Materialists. I think Golden Globes are gonna really like that
Yeah.
movie.
Maybe Kurt Russell for The Rivals of I'm Zaya King. Your top movie of this year.
No, I haven't heard anything about him. It's more the other two.
Idris Elba as a president in an Untitled Catherine Bigelow political thriller.
No,
No.
no, I think that's gonna be more of an action movie.
Cringer. Brendan Fraser as Daniel Dwight D. Eisenhower for Pressure.
Yeah, he's playing Eisenhower. That's kind of a big deal.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
cool.
see you guys later.
See you
Goodbye
later.
now.
Bye. All right.